All right. Hey, we're live on the internet, so let's do this thing. You ready to get weird? All right. Here we go. Stand by for weird. Hello. Welcome to Weird World Weekly, a production of Galactic Netcasts. I'm Dave Nelson. With me, as always, Mr. Matt Stein. Hello, Matt.
Hi, Dave.
Are you ready to get weird?
I'm so ready to get weird.
All right. I'm glad that you came prepared. It's always important. Did you do your homework?
I had homework?
Well, I mean, we've got the doc in front of us.
I looked at it. I wanted you to get concerned that I didn't pay attention to anything ever.
Well, there'll be a quiz later.
Well, that sucks. I'm going to fail it, but such is the majority of my schooling.
All right. Hey, for those of you who are new to this, this is the podcast where we talk about the mythological, the paranormal, the conspiratorial, the unexplained, or anything else that fits the definition of weird, odd, strange, or unusual. You can follow us, and when I say us, I mean the whole Galactic Netcast family, the Galactic Netcast network of podcasts, who, by the way, are available on Google Play Music starting today. Just throwing that out there. You can follow us on Twitter, Facebook. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel. And the links for all that stuff's on our main page at the website gncasts.com. All right. Here we go, Matt. You sure you're ready?
As ready as I'm going to be.
Okay, because you're going to be scared after this one.
Okay.
I promise you.
Am I going to have to get a change of pants?
You may want to put some Depends on right now.
All right. Luckily, we have those in the house.
Okay. Good to know. All right. So, you know the movie The Shining, right?
You know it.
Okay. Did you know that there's and I think we've talked about this on previous episodes of WWW, that the Stanley Motel or Stanley Hotel in Colorado. It's the Estes Park, Colorado, is the basis for that story. We've talked about that before on previous episodes. Because you have a friend that goes there every year, right? They
went 1 year. There's a band called Murder by Death that plays a show there, but I think they went they went this year, which was the first time that they had gone.
Okay, so we set all that up. There is a haunting going on at the hotel that inspired The Shining, the Stanley Hotel in Estes Park. It has been haunted for a while. In fact, they kind of they give ghost tours, but they actually have some real, honest to goodness evidence that there are ghosts there now. Shall I continue?
I'm listening.
Are you listening with bated breath?
I'm mildly intrigued.
Okay. So a guy named Henry Yao took a panoramic image of the lobby of the Stanley Hotel. Hang on 1 second. Pause the show. Hang on. I have a dog who hates to be alone.
I knew the sound as soon as I heard it. Like, that is an upset dog.
Okay, so where was I? Yeah, this guy named Henry Yao took a panoramic image of the lobby of the Stanley Hotel in Estes Park recently. When he took the picture, there was no one at the top of the staircase, he claims. But when he took a look at it later, as in the photo, he saw a ghostly figure in what looks like period clothing coming down the stairs. And when I say period clothing, I mean clothing that would be more suitable or more that would more match a certain period of time, not the other period. Clarifying.
You said it, not me. I'm watching the video with the picture in it right now. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's very vivid. I mean, you can definitely see something there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I'm sure it's more noticeable or more shocking if you had taken the picture and not seen anything there.
Yeah. Yeah, you come back, you look at it, you're like, holy crap, there's something there. What the hell is that?
Yeah. That's
Uh,
cool though. That's I don't know, that's interesting to me.
One paranormal expert said the photo shows not one but two spirits. Can you identify two of them there?
Well, in the website they're two big arrows. So
Oh,
it's
so there's no mistaking that they want you to definitely see the two images then.
yeah, now if you look at the picture itself, or even the picture itself has big arrows, but I was hoping for a not arrowed picture just
Oh,
to
a
look, but
raw image.
yeah, raw image.
Okay. So this expert said when we blew up the picture, we immediately saw a second anomaly just to the left of the first figure. Kevin Samprin, a paranormal expert at Spirit Paranormal Investigations in Denver, told WUSA. To us, it looks like the first figure is a lady dressed in black, and the left of her, it looks like a child.
Yeah, I got that out of the pictures. I mean, the second one is behind a banister, so the arrow that they have pointing at it, this is me pointing an arrow. The arrow makes it look like it's shorter than the woman, but like I said, if it wasn't for that second arrow, would you even be able to tell that there was a second one there?
Hmm. Okay.
So people might be grasping at straws because they do that.
Yeah, they want to see something no matter what.
Very true.
Like the whole seeing things on Mars. Your brain is trained, or your brain biologically links things together to see patterns, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, and that's like, now my dogs are going nuts. But that's like when you watch those paranormal investigation shows and they always talk about either listening to the EVPs or whatever, and you just hear mumbling. Like I make a point when those happen, when they're playing the EVPs, to not look at the TV.
Okay.
To see if I hear anything, and then because they replay it 7 times in a row, it's always like some weird mumbling, and it's like, oh my god, they said you by name, and they're gonna murder you in your sleep on the 4th Tuesday of the 17th year of the lunar moon. Like I heard nothing of that nature.
That's a lot of words for just some time.
I get in depth with my ghosts.
Okay. So there's more to this, the whole history behind the Stanley Hotel, but we're going to talk about that after we talk about this. Patreon.com/Galactic Netcasts. We could use your help in a financial way. We have certain things that we must pay for to keep the ship on course towards the future.
Superstardom?
We have many levels of support that you can give. In fact, we have a $1 a month level, which is super cheap. I mean, there's not a whole lot that you can get for $1 a month. And with that $1 a month, you actually get rewards. Like at the $1 a month level, you get access to our Patreon Slack chat channel. I don't know if you're not familiar with Slack, it's kind of like an instant messenger application that you put on your mobile phone. You can also use their website too. You don't need to use.
There's a desktop
Yes.
port too. I use it on my work computer to talk to you guys.
Okay. Yeah. See, that's how it works. You give the $1 a month. We give you access to the Slack channel, and you can talk to Matt at work. You can distract him and stop him from actually doing work to pay the bills.
Yes. Yeah. For $1 a month, you can annoy me daily.
Yep. Okay. So let's move up to $3 a month. That will get you the newsletter that we pump out to our $3 a month Patreon support levels. And that is like stories related to what we talk about on this podcast, what we talk about on your podcast, Podcast of Terror, and all the other shows on the Galactic Netcast Network. That's $3 a month, plus you get the Slack chat channel access. $5 a month gets you an extra podcast episode that we just kind of throw together. It's a little something extra. It's not usually our full-length episodes, but we'll put together like a 5 to 10 minute long episode, and just stuff special for you guys for giving that $5 a month level every month, because that's what monthly means. At patreon.com/galacticnetcast, you can help us pay for audio hosting, web hosting, and more. Okay, so why is the Stanley Hotel so famous? You may be asking yourself. Were you asking that?
I know.
Okay.
I am very familiar with this hotel.
Okay, so
Not really, that's a lie.
let's talk to the listeners that may not know. So in 1974, Stephen King just happened to be staying at the Stanley Hotel. And he said it seemed the perfect, maybe the archetypal setting for a ghost story. He writes on his official website, my dog is now growling. The night I dreamed of my 3-year-old son running through the corridors, looking back over his shoulders, eyes wide, screaming. He was being chased by a fire hose. I woke up with a tremendous jerk, sweating all over, within an inch of falling out of bed. I got up, lit a cigarette, sat in the chair looking out the window at the Rockies, and by the time the cigarette was done, I had the bones of the book firmly set in my mind. So he was at the hotel. He had this crazy dream. He woke up, freaked out, lit a cigarette, and came up with the idea for The Shining. How cool is that?
Yeah, see, I didn't know that. I just knew that the movie The Shining took place there.
Well, now you know more.
And knowing is half the battle.
Feel smarter now?
Kind of. A little bit.
Okay. So that's a very interesting story, and they do have a history of ghosts. In fact, they will give ghost tours. So if you're ever going out to Colorado on a vacation, or if you live in Colorado and never been out to the Stanley Hotel in Estes Park, I've been to Estes Park. I've been to the outside of the Stanley Hotel, but never went inside.
Oh, so you've been there?
Yeah, I've been to the Estes Park. It's a tourist trap.
Well, yeah. I mean, with this inside of it, it has to be.
Well, that, and it's also at the edge of the actual park. It's Rocky Mountain National Park, which is the park that you go up, like you go up the mountain, and by the time you get to the top, it's freezing. So, like, say you're at the actual town, Estes Park, it may be like 70 and sunshine, but by the time you're like up the mountain, it's like 35.
So do you have to drive through the mountains to get there, it looks like?
Yeah. You drive through the mountains, to get to the Estes Park, and then after Estes Park is the actual real, the Rocky Mountain National Park.
Huh.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That sounds terrifying to drive there.
Are you afraid of heights?
Not really, but I've heard a lot of stories, mostly from my friends that play in bands, of like driving along the mountains.
Mm-hmm.
And driving in a big van, pulling a trailer, and how poorly people drive and stuff, and it's just tedious.
Yeah. Do you think you'd ever want to go to the Stanley Hotel and do the?
I do.
If you had the money, like you and the wife, let's go on a vacation. Would that be like a destination that you would choose?
Yeah, it would be. It's something I would want to do, and I'm sure she would be into it too. We've done ghost stuff before, which I know we've talked about.
Yeah. Do you have anything planned? Like, do you have a list of places that you'd like to go that are known for hauntings?
No, not really. We usually fly by the seat of our pants, and a lot of our plans change so often.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and go to. There's a Friday the 13th fest in October in Milwaukee, and there's like a Wisconsin paranormal conference that I think we're gonna try and go to as well.
Oh, cool. Okay. Neat.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll put the picture in the show notes, along with the podcast that you can check out and see for yourself. Judge for yourself whether you think these are real ghosts or not. All right. Sounds like a good deal, man.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So a couple of things before we get out of here. Don't forget you can subscribe to this podcast via iTunes. And if you do it through iTunes, please leave 5 stars if you enjoy what you hear. And give us a quick review, sentence or two, and that helps us get more listeners, more subscribers. But we're also now available on Google Play Music, like as of today, as of the 18th of April, 2016, the day that we're recording this. So I'm really hoping that we get some additional listeners, some additional subscribers through Google Play. That would be really awesome. And they just the layout and just the functionality of listening to the podcast and subscribing is super clean. Like I was really impressed with how everything looks and how everything works.
I've never used Google Play Music, so
They have if you're you can, I mean, everything is free basically. I mean, they do have
but
paid plans.
ads.
Yeah.
Spotify was free too, and now that I pay for it, I don't think I'd ever turn back. I never used it on my phone, but I always listen to it at work. And now that I pay for Spotify, I always listen to Spotify on my phone when I'm driving somewhere. Unless I'm driving a long distance, I'm listening to a book or a podcast.
Well, try it out. Try out.
Yeah, I'm totally gonna. I realized halfway through that little spiel that I was like trying to sell Spotify ad space, but
what are you
not
doing?
true.
Dude?
Not true.
You want to point people towards Google Play.
Yeah, I'm gonna
definitely
check out Google Play for some podcasts now, since I like iTunes elitist or anything.
We've got the links in the subscription tab or the subscription page on our website. Just go to gncasts.com and click on subscribe, and you'll find all the links to all the different places that you can listen and subscribe to this podcast. And there are many, by the way. What else should we? Feedback. weird@gncasts.com is the email address. That's weird@gncasts.com. You can leave us a voicemail. The number is 805-328-3966, or leave a voice message on our website. That's gncast.com. Until next time, Matt, until we meet again for another episode of Weird World Weekly, what do you want to do?
Keep it weird, Dave.
We'll be watching you to make sure that you do.
Not me. I won't be watching you.
No, I will. I'll be watching. So keep it weird. All right, super duper. Let me save that.
Terrific.
Great. Hopefully, Princess doesn't stay calm.
Need to calm down over there, Princess.
She's not acting like a princess today.
Ugh.
Never does.
It happens.
She's right around the corner, and she's howling like a maniac. Just think if you did that, like your wife or something, It's like people would.
Do you want me to?
Admit you.
I'll just go sit in a corner and scream.
That would
be weird.
Add some ambiance to our podcast.
Make it real artsy like.
It's been over a month since we recorded one of these.
Has it? Well, we did 3, so I guess we only missed a week.
Yeah.
Not the best, not the worst. We're the worst, aren't we?
It's for a person that only works part-time. I'm a busy person. Like I have the podcast network. I do the 2 podcasts plus this one, and then I do all the other stuff behind the scenes. And then I've got my job, which is at the least 2 days a week. But then I do a lot of like household things and driving the wife and driving the stepdaughter around. So it's a busy person.
All adds up, man.
All right. I'm going to close that. There we go. All right. Let's do this. Let's not even think about it. But I do have to think about doing this. I'm going to move the text around here.
Whoa, don't do that. I don't think I can handle it.
Let's see. Okay, so I'm going to copy. All right. Come on, you can do it. All right.
You can do it, computer.
You have the technology. Let's do this thing. Let's start the record again. And let's move that up there. Start the audio recording, and we're off to the races. Here we go. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Weird World Weekly, a production of Galactic Netcasts. I'm Dave Nelson. With me is Matt Stein. Hello, Matt.
Hi, Dave.
We need to figure out a way of opening the show that is weird. Weirder than just saying hello. That just seems very plain and simple and non-weird. You know what I mean?
There's nothing I can think about that falls into the category of weird that is not offensive. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I got nothing.
Okay. Well, maybe I could figure out a way of saying weird that's weird. Like, or hello.
Zany?
Zany. Yeah. Wacky. Type.
What you need to do is get like those spinny things that like Pennywise had, and horns and poppers and stuff, and just shoot stuff all over the place.
Noisemakers is what you're saying.
Noisemakers, yeah.
I'll run down to the party store and grab those between the next two things that we record here.
Welcome to Zany World Weekly.
I could probably find some sound effects. I wouldn't actually need to get the noisemakers.
No, you would not need to leave your house.
Yeah. All right, so here we go with another podcast where we talk about the unusual, the strange, the odd, the weird. Like, for example, ghosts. Like, in fact, the last episode we covered ghosts, right?
Yes, not the Patrick Swayze ghost, though.
The actual apparitions,
yes,
spirits that people see in real life of possibly the long departed.
Yes, these will not help you mold a pot.
Okay, we talk about mythological. What would be the category? How would you describe mythological?
I'm trying to think of a Patrick Swayze movie involving mythological stuff.
I don't think he was in one.
I don't think so either. Roadhouse comes to mind, but it's not like he had a mythological roundhouse kick in that movie.
No.
Mythological is usually like
Bigfoot.
Yeah, Bigfoot. That's a good one.
Yeah. Conspiratorial. We talked about like
the white man's knocking on your door, hunting you down, keeping you down.
What was that place in New York where it's like a government facility, and it supposedly is the center or the home for all these crazy experiments? We talked about that.
We totally talked about it.
Yeah. But
Plum Island?
What?
Is it Plum Island?
Yes, I think so.
Okay.
So paranormal, mythological, conspiratorial, or anything else that's unexplained. Like we've talked about the Bermuda Triangle. We've talked about weird places on the earth where unexplained things happened. And not last episode, maybe the episode or two before that, we talked about ghouls. Remember that?
Mm-hmm, I do.
Yeah. So I thought let's continue that theme by every few episodes we kind of hone in on a mythological creature that has been the subject of song and story throughout the ages, right?
So instead of Shark Week, it's Ghoul Week here on Zany World Weekly?
Yeah.
I like that.
But it's not going to be ghouls every time. It's going to be similar mythological creatures. Like, for example, this episode, we're going to talk about the Wendigo. The
Wendigo.
Wendigo? Is that what it is?
Yep.
Okay. How'd you know that?
Because it's actually the monster, quote-unquote monster, in the video game Until Dawn. It's all about the Wendigo.
Okay, I thought you knew that because it's an Algonquin Indian-based or Native American-based
something or other
belief. Yeah, and there are Algonquin. No, what am I thinking? Algonquin's here. Never mind.
Milwaukee is Algonquin for the good land.
Really?
No, Alice Cooper says that in Wayne's World, and it's actually completely false.
Oh, okay. All right. No, Algonquin. We actually have Algonquin College which is just around the corner from where I live here in Ottawa, Ontario. But Algonquin is a group of Native American tribes, and how do you say it again?
The Wendigo.
Wendigo?
Yep.
The Wendigo is a demonic spirit believed to possess humans and turn them into cannibals.
From what I understand, there's multiple, and I haven't read all of your notes, but from what I've read, there's multiple variations of how they look and how they act, but the cannibalistic it's all the same.
Yeah. I found that this is kind of a neat way of tying back in zombies.
It's possible that the Wendigo is how some zombie beliefs started.
I'm thinking that because when I read this, I'm like, that sounds really familiar. Like the whole craving human flesh and then eating the human flesh turns you into a zombie.
Yes, it does.
Okay, so the term Wendigo or Wendigo is used to describe both the evil spirit as well as the creature that humans can become when possessed by the spirit. The monster version of the mythological creature is human-like, but very tall and gaunt, with deeply sunken eyes and yellowish, decaying skin. So they're almost like, when you think of a zombie, a walker, particularly on The Walking Dead, they have decaying skin, right? They are impossibly thin and have an unending hunger that craves only human flesh. The best known way to become a Wendigo is through cannibalism, by eating another human being, even out of necessity for survival. A human can be overcome by these spirits and be transformed into one. So you don't have to, unlike, for example, The Walking Dead, where you have to be bitten to become a zombie. You can crave human flesh, eat somebody, and become that creature.
It sounds like pure insanity.
Checking on the dog. All right.
That's fine. I couldn't think of anything else to say to kill time.
Okay. The Wendigo legend was prevalent in the northern U.S. and Canada, and particularly roamed around the woods and forests in the coldest areas where food was scarce and survival was challenging.
Sorry.
That's why they call you the best sidekick in the business.
I generally, when you say something, I try and think of a response to it, and I didn't have one, and you were quiet, so I just did my inquisitive.
Okay, well, you could expand that into like, whoa, crazy, no way.
I do have a party horn on my computer I could play. Just be like, you don't say. It goes. Bah, 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 bah.
Oh, I've heard that on Podcast Terror. That's freaky.
It's a big like YouTube thing right now, but I thought it'd be funny to use it once in a while.
Okay. So we'll have more on the Wendigo after this. But first, a message from Galactic Netcast. Of course, I don't know if you, the listener, know that the Weird World Weekly podcast is one of many podcasts that are part of a gigantic network of shows. So if you didn't know that, well, now you do. In fact, another one of the podcast is hosted by Matt Stein over there, and he just mentioned that he uses that air horn in his Podcast of Terror podcast.
Yes, I do.
So in order to have all these great podcasts full of great content, we have to pay for certain things, like the website where they all originate from. That costs a little bit each month, or the audio hosting where we actually store the audio for each of the podcasts. Because like when you subscribe to this podcast and you see it pop up in whatever app you're using, you have to download it from a place on the internet, and that's our audio hosting. So we have to pay for that. And hopefully somewhere down the line, we're going to try to do some advertising on some bigger name podcasts so we can get our, get more people to the party, right? So all that can be alleviated by your support to our Patreon account or our Patreon campaign. It's patreon.com, patreon.com/galactic netcasts. And for as little as $1 a month, you can help us out. And each of the levels of support, you'll get a reward. For that $1 a month, you'll get exclusive access to our Patreon-only Slack chat channel. For $3, you'll get a regular newsletter with extra stories related to our podcast, plus access to that Patreon-only Slack chat channel. And for $5 a month, you'll get that extra podcast episode and the Slack chat channel thrown in as well. So before we move on to more about the Wendigo, Matt, why don't you give one awesome reason why the listeners should support us for at least $1 a month through patreon.com/galactic netcasts?
We could share turkey recipes in real time via Slack.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
That's a great reason.
What is this? What is this, episode 61?
Yeah, this is 61.
I've gotten one turkey recipe, so you guys need to step your game up.
Hello. Turkey recipe right
Yeah.
here.
I just don't eat because I don't have turkey recipes, so I just don't eat anymore.
But Matt does bring up a great point. With the Slack chat, you can bug Matt about that. Because our podcast hosts and a lot of time the guests to our shows are in that chat, so you can be part of that. It's like a big old party, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So again, patreon.com/galactic netcast. Give as little as $1 a month, and you'll get access to the exclusive Slack chat channel. Okay, so on with the Wendigo. There is a condition known as Wendigo. Was it Wendigo?
Wendigo?
Wendigo psychosis, under which people who have reasonable access to other food sources would inexplicably become overcome with the need to consume human flesh. One such person, a Cree man named Swift Runner, famously slaughtered his entire family in 1878 and ate them, despite being only 25 miles from the Hudson Bay Company's supply post.
Yeah.
That's crazy, right?
Depends. Did his family have it coming? Sorry.
Did his wife?
Yeah. What did she say?
Too much?
What did she say before he probably cut her head off?
Yeah.
She probably stopped me right there. Move on.
Okay, but you do bring up a valid point, though.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know.
I'm a thinker, not a stinker.
In 1907, a Owigi Cree man named Jack Fiddler and his brother were arrested for killing over 14 people who he claimed were Wendigos or about to become them. So he was actually, you know what? They may have been wrongly accused. They may have been like Wendigo, like fighters, like Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
So what was this guy's name?
His name was Jack Fiddler.
So it'd be Jack Fiddler Wendigo Slayer?
Yes. Perfect.
Start WB, sign us up. We got a TV show.
97 called, and the WB wants us to do a show for them.
Yeah, I don't blame him. I very steep starting salary. 37 bags of Funyuns.
You have high demands.
I do. I need my trailer stocked with Funyuns at all times.
Okay, so as tribes have been more and more influenced by surrounding culture, the reports of the Wendigo have declined over the years. But as with most evil spirits, it's doubtful that this creature is gone for good. Dum dum dum.
Yeah, this isn't something you hear a whole lot about, so I feel like you really have to like search for Wendigo stuff. But like I said, I was first introduced by playing a video game, which was really cool, and that video game took place like in the mountains.
Okay.
So it's not really a topic that gets discussed a whole lot, but I still feel like it's pretty interesting.
I wonder if these guys have been a topic in like other areas like books or comic books or TV shows or you know what? Do me a favor, real quick, Matt. Go onto Wikipedia and type in Wendigo and see what, because usually Wikipedia will have in other media or
Oh
uh,
yeah.
its uses in fiction.
Hmm. Wendigo in popular culture.
Ooh, okay, now we're cooking.
Early references to Wendigos include literature, include Henry Wadsworth Longfellow's 1855 The Song of the Hiawatha.
Mhm.
They were referred to in literature for many decades, most notably in Algernon Backwood's 1910 story, The Wendigo,
Oh,
which introduced the legend to horror fiction, and Stephen King's novel Pet Sematary.
oh, wow, we're back to Stephen King again.
Yep. Creatures based upon Wendigos appear in films Wendigo and Ravenous, and in episodes of the television series Supernatural, Charmed, Blood Ties, and Hannibal.
I had a feeling that Supernatural.
Oh. Uh, it's also in Sleepy Hollow, Teen Wolf, and The Blacklist. But in Hannibal, I remember it was one of the first episodes that it was like this big thing with horns, because a lot of times the Wendigo is depicted with like deer antlers.
Oh, cool.
Two more things. Marvel Comics, there's a fictional character known as the Wendigo.
Oh,
And characters bearing the name appear in a number of computer and video games, including Tearaway, The Legend of Dragoon, Until Dawn, which is the game I played, and the Shin Megami Tensei universe.
oh, neat. Okay, cool. So
Yeah,
lots of places you can find the Wendigo.
yeah, which pretty impressive.
All right, cool. So now we're all just a little bit more smart, a little bit more knowledgeable about flesh-eating creatures that stalk us at night.
Mm-hmm.
All right, real quick, you can leave us feedback, weird@gncasts.com. Call our voicemail number, 805-328-3966. Subscribe to us via iTunes, Google Play Music, or other places, and we've got the links on the subscribe tab at gncasts.com. That's going to do it for this episode of Weird World Weekly. Matt, it's been a pleasure. Until next time, what do you want to do?
Keep it zany.
Honk, honk. Keep it weird. All right, fantastic. There we go. Episode 61 recorded. Bam.
So I didn't want this on an episode recording, but there's actually a stand-up comedian, and I can't recall who it is at this moment, but I think it's Bill Burr. But one of his jokes was about Chris Brown and Rihanna.
No.
And he always said, like, yeah, he beat the crap out of her, but what did she say before he hit her?
Oh, okay.
And that's kind of where I got that idea.
I was wondering where that came from.
Yeah, I'm not that smart.
I think you are. Don't sell yourself short.
I'm not that quippy to come up with like a family murdering joke, which is okay.
Yeah, maybe that's a good thing that you don't want to be.
I agree. I see you went back to an iPhone.
Yeah, I've had it since last fall.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, we all got we went to the Bell store, and all three of us, Stephanie, myself, and Layla, all got the iPhone 6.
Nice. I was telling a coworker last Thursday about how I don't understand how anyone can crack their screen on their phone, and I got out of his car, dropped my phone, and cracked the screen.
See, that is karma.
I even knocked on wood.
Wow.
Yeah.
It was real wood?
No, it was like the interior of a car. So it was not even a form of wood. Yeah, so that was $125 to replace.
Shit. Yeah, Layla just cracked her screen today, but luckily her phone is still under warranty. She's the only one that we put under warranty because we knew.
Makes sense. Yeah, mine is, I've had it for over a year now, so I didn't really, it is what it is.
All right, we're recording.
Okay.
Do this last one, and yeah, here we go. Let's start it. Hello, and welcome to Weird World Weekly.
You're gonna hurt yourself doing that. During the intro music, all I could think about is we've been doing this for a really long time, and they still haven't fixed that creaky board yet.
I know. Gotta take some of that Patreon money and fix that.
Somebody call maintenance. Get them down here. I don't even know if we have a maintenance department, but you're gonna want to get them in here.
So everybody, welcome to the podcast where we talk about the paranormal, the mythological, the conspiratorial, the unexplained, or anything else that fits the definition of weird, odd, strange, or unusual. Okay, hang on one second. Do you want to, real quick, Matt, explain that people can follow us on the social networks? Just real quick, like.
Real quick. Yeah, you can follow us on the Twitter at Galactic Netcasts. You can join our Facebook group or subscribe to our YouTube channel. Watch our shows, all the Galactic Netcast shows, by clicking on the links on our website or gncast.com. That was a train wreck of speaking. I'm sorry.
No, you got the information out there. It wasn't fancy, but you got it out there. I wanted to also mention that if you follow us on Twitter and Facebook and YouTube, that is a very simple way to make sure that you get our episodes. If you don't want to actually subscribe to our episodes through a podcast app of any kind, because if you follow us like on Twitter, if you actually monitor your stream, you'll see. See, that's the problem. See, you got to make sure that you're vigilant about it. You got to follow everything that we post. If that's a problem, then that you may want to subscribe to us on iTunes or whatever. But you can also subscribe to our YouTube channel, and every time that we post a new episode, video form, you'll get just make sure that your notifications is checked, that you will receive notifications. So another couple of reasons why you should follow us on those social networks. All right, welcome to the show. Let's get into this week's topic, and what we're going to talk about this week is the zone of silence.
I should put my wife in there. Yep. Sorry.
Does she listen to the podcast?
No.
Okay.
No. She doesn't really understand what I do in here.
She just hears you talking, and she's like, yeah, whatever.
She was just talking to that damn wall again. I don't get it.
Yeah. All right, so one of the reasons why I whispered at the very beginning of this episode, we're going to talk about the zone of silence, which is a patch of desert near the Balsan de Mapimi. I totally messed that up. I'm sure anybody who knows Spanish will say that you don't know how to pronounce things. Balsan de Mapimi. Yeah, I wasn't even trying. It's in Mexico, in a place known as the Trino Vertex. This is a fascinating story. Because we've talked about areas of the planet that have anomalies, right? That weird and strange, unexplained things happen, and we have no idea why. This place, actually, there is an explanation, but a lot of weird things happen here that aren't explained. So the first incident at this zone of silence occurred in the 1930s when a pilot by the name of Francisco Sarabia was flying over the area and claimed his instruments went wild and his radio stopped working. Later in the 1970s, attention was drawn to the area when a faulty American missile was fired from the White Sands Missile Base in New Mexico and crashed, or perhaps was pulled into the region. The Mexican government allowed the U.S. Air Force officials to investigate the crash at the site, which is when the cause became apparent. It was discovered that no signals of any sort are able to penetrate the area, including radio and satellite signals, due to local magnetic fields that create a dark zone, thus attributing to the popular name of the site. How cool is that?
It's interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's cool. I'm gonna show up and fill my trousies.
I wouldn't want to have a house there because cell phone coverage would suck. You, you not only that, you couldn't get TV, you couldn't get radio. You, I guess there's a reason why it's called the zone of silence, because none of that stuff penetrates through for this weird reason.
Yeah. I'd be curious why though.
Well, the story kind of does explain that. Research, well, it sort of explains it. Research has since been done at the site, and the Mexican government has constructed a research complex said to be studying the unusual local habitat and wildlife. Theorists speculate the government is studying more than it's admitting, and there are plenty of anomalies to research in the zone. One of the many unusual observable properties in this area is its high levels of magnetite and uranium deposits. Uranium, that's the stuff that's used to make nuclear bombs.
Mm-hmm.
And scientists attribute I talk for a living. Electromagnetic pulses that are said to be the source of the disrupted signals. The area is also a hotbed for meteorites, the remnants of which scientists theorize exude magnetic properties that may explain why so much iron-rich objects from space end up here.
There's a lot of ites.
Yeah.
There's meteorites, stalagmites, stalactites.
Mm-hmm.
Satellites.
So it sounds like things not only do no radio or satellite or any kind of signals penetrate, but things actually get sucked into this area for some reason.
Well, if there's a lot of if there's a huge magnetic field or whatever, then it makes sense that things get pulled there. I mean, if it's creating a large enough magnet that metal space crap, gets sucked there, it makes sense.
Is it possible for a human to actually have physical effects from living in an area like this, do you think?
Probably, but I also want to say probably not, since magnets usually only affect metals, although you have iron in your blood.
Yeah.
I'm sure a large enough magnet could cause a disruption in the blood in your body, or your iron pull things. I could also be making all of this up because I'm not a freaking doctor.
Okay, so we'll talk more about this in a second, but first, this is where the point in the show where we talk about how you can help us, because we've given you plenty of entertainment throughout the last couple of years, right? Do you agree with me, Matt?
Yeah, I was just thinking about all the podcasts and episodes and things that we've done. A lot of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, we're at episode 62. So
of this one alone.
Yeah, of just this one. Because we are part of the Galactic Netcast Network, and there's a lot more other shows that are part of that, including yours, Podcast of Terror. How many episodes have you guys got put in the can so far?
As of recording this, 35 comes out tomorrow. As of people listening this, 36, episode 37 will be about to come out.
Okay. So that's just the Podcast of Terror. You've got the alien invasion. Mm-hmm. We're at 181 or 2 right now.
Which is insane to me.
Yeah. Sci-Fi Geeks Club is almost at 100. We've got Adventure Party. We've got the Who Knew and Reviews. All these are part of the network, and one of the reasons why we ask for your financial assistance is all this stuff has to have a home somewhere, right? I mean, the audio needs to live somewhere on the internet, and so does the website part of it that needs hosting as well. So we have some costs that we need to pay for every month. So that's where you come in by your donation, and it can be as little as $1. It doesn't have to be like this crazy amount, like how much you pay for like your Netflix, which is what about $10 a month or so.
Mm-hmm.
It's only $1 a month. That's all we ask for. And with that dollar, you will get what, Matt?
You can hang out with me via the internet while I'm at work
Yeah.
using Slack, which if you don't know what Slack is, educate yourself. I saw a commercial for Slack the other day.
Really? That's weird.
Yeah.
That's really weird. Well, I mean, it's really it's geared towards businesses, right? Companies. So all employees can communicate. But we're not that. But we still use it, right?
Well, I use it to talk with a couple friends.
Yeah.
You know, so we don't use it for work. We use Google Hangouts at work to talk.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. Because
Okay.
we already all have it. But yeah, there's a lot of places that use Slack. I was looking at CBT Nuggets so I could do training for work, and there's a thing where it's like discussed in our Slack channel. So it's the new hotness right now.
Okay, so that $1 a month will get you access to our Slack channel, and you can talk to, if they're online, any of our hosts, or sometimes even like the Sci-Fi Geeks Club has guests, and we'll invite the guests in on the Slack channel as well. So you can talk to the hosts, you can talk to the guests, any time of the day, as long as we're on. We might, we might respond and say hey, and you never know where that conversation might lead. So $3 a month. What will that get you, Matt?
Aw, Dave, you'll get a regular newsletter with extra stories related to all of our podcasts and access to an exclusive Patreon only. Oh, you get that for $1 too. But you get extra podcast stuff.
Yeah, you get a written newsletter of stories related to our podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's step it up all the way to $5 a month. What do you get from that? We
ratcheted up to an extra episode of each one of our podcasts. That's extra work that you make me do, and Dave too. But I'm the only one that complains about it.
But I mean, we thank you for allowing us to be at your service. You're giving us money.
Oh, absolutely. Corey and I have had the discussion of what do we do to make that $5 worth your money. So I want you to know if you give us $5, at least Corey and I spend a lot of time trying to make sure that it's worth your $5.
Yeah. So Patreon, patreon.com/galacticnetcasts. That's patreon.com/galacticnetcasts. And we thank you in advance for your support of the Galactic Netcasts Network. All right. So the Zone of Silence. I love that name. So cool.
I'm gonna make like a big bubble, and when my wife is being annoying, I'm just gonna say you're going into the zone of silence.
Or anybody for that matter. Well, your wife, right?
Well, I only say that because I interact with her the most, and I'm pretty sure I would get in trouble if I did that at work. Yeah. Like if someone asked me a question, and I would just be like, "You go in the zone of silence." I cannot handle you right now.
So, of course, with something like this, other unexplainable events have happened here, including strange lights, UFO sightings, of course, and alien encounters. Hey, we could talk about this on the Alien Invasion podcast.
You could.
Yeah, I'll have to make a note of that. Some even believe that it's been used in the past and present as a portal for aliens. A portal for aliens.
Dun, dun, dun. Sorry.
So, like one of those, like a portal is like a doorway to another dimension through space and time.
Or a stairway to heaven.
Yeah, that too. So you never know. John Bonham might be stumbling out of that portal. Hey, I'm not dead.
Hey, guys, I'm not dead. I just got lost.
There's this portal that opened up. I stepped in. Hey,
Here we are.
Yeah. Ranchers have cited tales of strange lights and odd strangers that appear from nowhere and claim to come from above. In fact, the same three blonde strangers, I said, have often been spotted by multiple witnesses. Although the witnesses of some of the unexplainable flying objects, some being described as disc-like that were thought to have landed, found physical evidence in the form of burned brush and vegetation at the touchdown sites, excuse me. The zone of silence is geographically. This is the coolest part of this whole story. The zone of silence is geographically parallel with the Egyptian pyramids and the Bermuda Triangle, and is located just north of the Tropic of Cancer. Scientists at the Mexican Research Center have coined the area the Sea of Thetis, I think Thetis, because it lay at the bottom of an ocean millions of years ago. So that location would be at the bottom of an ocean, bottom of an ocean that was there millions of years ago. I love the fact that it's in the just north of the geographically parallel with the Egyptian pyramids. There's got to be something there, right?
Or it is a complete coincidence.
Yeah, there's that too.
Yeah, which I'm with you. I hope that there's a reason that all of these things line up on this. What would that be? What's latitude, longitude? Is longitudinal line?
It would probably be a longitudinal, because if it was latitudinal, it would be directly south or north. And
right.
Not what Egypt is.
We're good. But yeah, so I hope that there's a reason that they are longitudinal to each other. That there's, something in the middle of the earth or something in that area.
There's been there's stuff I've read before where it says all the crazy things that happen on Earth are connected somehow with lines. Like and I'll have to do some more research. Maybe we can talk about it on an upcoming episode of Weird World Weekly, where cases like this, similar to this, where one crazy place on Earth is connected somehow to another. There's got to be a story or some information on this that we can talk about. So
I hope so.
I'll do some research and we'll get back to you on that.
Do it.
All right. So this is from a previous episode, this feedback right here, right?
Yeah, that's been there for a while.
Okay. All right. That's going to do it for this episode of Weird World Weekly. Couple things before we get out of here. We are now available on Google Play Music Podcasts, and we've got a link to that on our website, gncasts.com. But if you already use Google Play Music for your stuff, just look under podcasts and you'll find us. Just search Weird World Weekly or the Galactic Netcast. Just Galactic Netcast. You'll find all of our shows. It's pretty easy to find. We're also on the iTunes. And if you use iTunes, please give us 5 stars and a quick, brief review of some kind. We're on Stitcher Smart Radio, but all the links to where you can subscribe to the show is available on the subscribe tab at gncasts.com. Call our voicemail. Leave us something weird, 805-328-3966, or email weird@gncasts.com. That's weird@gncasts.com. Thanks, Matt.
Thanks, Dave.
I had a blast.
I had a blast with you, too. Thank you for being my friend.
You're welcome. For being my friend.
Always.
Okay, until next time on Weird World Weekly, what do you want to do?
Keep it weird.
Weird. All right, there we go. We are done.
Huzzah.
We're done. All right, I'm going to stop this.